Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator. How are you today? So, I think you've done this before. You kind of know how this works, but don't forget, this is not an exact science. So sometimes you got to think outside the box a little bit. They'll tell us what we need to know, not always what we want to know. Don't waste a message. So there's always a reason. So you'll see it later, hear it later, or remember it later, or somebody else can validate it for you and go, oh, I know what she's talking about. So we're going to talk to KAYLYNNE. I don't know if I can say it like she said it. I said, how are you today? And she says, I'm just fine. How are you? Kind of in this little bitty wee small voice. I'm just so sweet. So just this little weak little, not weak, but soft. Soft would be a better word. Soft little. I'm okay. How are you? So sweet. She's a sweetie. She's got the sweetest energy. Okay, so I felt like so I'll start off with this. I felt like I needed to pull a couple cards for you. Sometimes they ask me to do that. So the first one I pulled is a release card. What do you need to release? The formula for success is to do all you can do to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So I can't think of an example offhand, but don't, it's got to be this way, it's got to be this way, it's got to. You need to surrender your attachment to the results. It will actually put up some kind of a block. I don't quite understand it myself. But then we got trust your intuition and ask your inner self the answer to your question. So these two, isn't that funny? Two different decks and how they say the same thing basically. Trust your gut, let go of the result. Do the steps that you need to work towards it, and then just let it go and let it play out like it needs to play out, and it'll be just fine. There's no warning in there or anything like that. So whatever it is coming up, but don't hang on to it too tight. Don't hang on to the end result too tight. She says, I love you, Mommy. Did you bury her with a little doll? She's holding a little, I wouldn't say it's a Raggedy Ann doll, but it's like a soft, the one she's showing anyway, looks like a soft cloth doll, kind of like a Raggedy Ann is made type of doll. She says she comes up and plays with your hair, like as if she still curls up on your lap, and she kind of strokes your hair. So you should feel that. It's not going to feel like my hand doing it, probably. I always say probably. Sometimes I felt somebody pushed on my hand earlier, like I was playing on my phone, and I literally felt the back of my hand being pushed. Like, put the phone down, Rhonda. You got work to do. So you should feel that, and you'll probably, and she's showing this is the right side, so she's showing curled up this way, and she's got her hand kind of back behind her, doing this to your hair, kind of aimlessly, like zoned out type of just habit type of thing. And you might feel some warmth, you might feel some pressure, you might feel tingling. Usually when they get real close to me, my whole head itches like I got head lice. That's just the way their energy affects me. It'll probably affect you differently. So I don't know for sure how you will feel it. She's also, but she's in the same position. So she's in front, instead of being right in your ear, she's kind of like sitting on your lap. But she's whispering in that ear. She kind of turns her head around and whispers in that ear. So it might sound different. Usually they do it like right on the ear. But she's whispering, I love you, Mommy. It might sound like a buzzing in your ear. It might sound like muttering. You might hear it with these ears. I always tell people we have telepathic ears. Sometimes we hear things up here with these ears, but it will only be in one ear at a time. If you get ringing in both ears, that's more than likely tinnitus, like I have. She says she's happy for you. So something good has happened in your life lately. She's happy for you. Now she's up jumping around. She's skipping rope now. She's got a rope. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. I don't remember how the rest of that goes. She just keeps saying that as she's jumping. I don't know, have you seen, I don't know if you have any other kids. Have you seen another kid jumping rope lately? And I don't think anybody jumps rope anymore. I don't think I've seen a jump rope for a long time. Or maybe she used to like jump rope. Or like I said, okay. So also, if you see a jump rope, if you see somebody on a movie on Facebook jumping rope, I don't even see that anymore. You're walking through the store and all of a sudden your head gets pulled to the side and there happens to be a jump rope for sale there. Anything like that will be a sign from her. That's different. I asked mine to come up with different signs and not just the cardinals and the butterflies, and everybody knows those now. Something unique for you. She's talking about a swirly thing. Swirly thing. She's showing me a tornado. I don't know what part of the country you live in. If you have tornadoes, I live in Kansas, so Wizard of Oz. We haven't had any twirly things lately, but she's showing one. She said twirly thing, and then she showed a look. It looks like a funnel cloud clear out in the distance. So I am not. I don't know. There's a reason for it. She says your storm is in the distance. Your storm is in the distance, and it is not a threat to you because it's in the distance. So I think she's referring to something going on in your life right now. It's out there doing its damage, and it's not coming your way. We're speaking in metaphors. These charades. You know I haven't left you. Because she's showing herself like kind of not really tiptoeing, but not blowing through the living room. But she bumps into the coffee table. So you're going to either hear that sound, what sounds like something bumping into the coffee table, or the coffee table is going to be moved just a little bit every so often. So watch the coffee table, or something's going to jiggle and fall on the coffee table. Not sure how that'll work. And she's bumping into the coffee table. And it almost doesn't look like she's doing it on purpose. It's like she's kind of just fiddle farting around, and bumps into the coffee table. But if you validate her, tell her, I know that's you, I love you, thank you, please bring me more. More than likely that'll happen more often. It's like my friend who has a clock on the wall, and her buddy opens the door every so often. And the more they know that you realize that's them, the more they'll do it. I'm just gonna say, I've been telling everybody lately, you need to tell them it's okay for them to be there. Some of them kind of wonder, ooh, should I really even be there? Is it okay? Or are they open to this? Or am I going to scare them? Or, something like that. But she says, I already know it's okay for me to be there. Okay, she's just showing me the corner of what looks like a blanket or something, a throw of some kind. It looks like somebody knitted, or could have been crocheted, but it looks more like knitted because the yarn looks looser than a crochet stitch. Put the teeth back in. So she's acknowledging this for some reason, but she's only showing me like one corner of it. Don't know if there's a reason for that, or if that's just the way she chooses to show it. She says, Grandma's here. Don't know if she means your grandma or her grandma. She says, Grandma's here. She's kind of stern. She's kind of bossy. So maybe that'll help you know which one it is. But she's good to me, and she loves me. There's a horse there too. More of a, looks more like a pony to me. At least that's the picture she's showing me. She said horse, but she's shown me what looks more like a pony that's there with her. So somebody, if it's not you, somebody around you probably needs to know that she has their pony, and she's hugging it and loving it. She's mentioning a she's mentioning a herald. I can't tell. I'm not getting a relationship like to you, like a blood relationship. Feel like he's older. I will say, for some reason, we stink at names. Don't know why. I can hear all the other words. I don't know why the names don't come through correct usually. Probably because I keep saying that, jinxing myself. So it's at least a male with an HHA name. A little older, be more like, she says, more like her grandfather's age. So whatever that age bracket is. For some reason, she's mentioning him. Oh, she said he's here. He's here. Not up there with her. Nice man likes to garden. I don't feel a relationship, so I'm not sure how you'll know who this one is or why she's acknowledging him. Yeah, he knows she's around. You know, most men that age are not going to admit it, that they know that their imaginary friend is there, but he knows she's around. That's unusual for somebody that age, especially a male. But he sees her, and she's showing herself outside when he's standing there leaning on a hoe, like he would hoe the garden. Okay, so I asked her what is best for, just having a look at the notes. So she does have siblings, for you and her siblings, and she's showing, excuse me, she's showing you like hovering them in like a mother hen would do. You know how mother hens put their wings out and pull the little chicks in. Oh gosh, we're gonna do charades. Then she's showing like a wolf at the door, and she's showing you need to do what's best for you right there. Don't worry about the wolf at the door. You can't get in. You need to only worry about that core, you and your kids, right there. She says, stop listening to everybody else. Stop listening to them. Oh, she wants to go back to the cards. She wants to go back. Which one are you pointing at? Pointing at this one. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Pull your family in tighter. And she says, stop listening to everybody else. They don't have your best interest at heart. They think they do. Trust your gut. And, okay, she says, and I tell people this all the time too. Okay, if somebody comes in with some advice and it makes your gut twist, that's trusting your gut. Trust your gut, because your little psychic antenna and your guides will do this too. Will give you that, and if it doesn't feel good, question it. Think about it. Stop and step back. Okay, she's bringing in a lady. I don't want to spend time describing her. Older, which look the way she's coming in. I don't know if she's talking about the same grandma she was talking about. Would be more like probably your grandma. I don't know how old you are, but this is a much older lady. Nicely, but permed white. You know, she's older. Yeah, she's got white hair. Nicely permed and done. Kind of. That's a hell of a description, wasn't it? I wish I could describe them better. Would have been, she says more affluent. Would have been nicer dressed, you know. Maybe not real. I don't feel like she's uppity, but I feel like she's more. I don't want to say higher class. I don't like that word. But she could crack a whip if she needed to. So she might be talking about the same grandma she was just talking about. Okay, so if you know who this is, call on her. Call on her for strength. I always tell people, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, don't call on him for financial advice, because when we get up there, we are not all knowing, and we're not, you know, magical. So whatever this grandma was good at, and I'm seeing the crack in the whip and the strength, call on her. Doesn't have to be a blood grandma either. Your neighbor next door can feel more like your grandma, feel more like, than your grandma clear across the country that you don't hardly know. So whoever this lady is, call on her. You'd be surprised what they can do. But you have to ask, because they cannot override your free will choice. And you have to allow for whatever they bring in. And you'll be amazed. They've done this for me multiple times. And all of a sudden, my phone will ring, and it'll be something totally off the wall, never thought would happen. And there it is. You'd be surprised how they can nudge and open doors, things like that. So call on this grandma for the strength and advice. And then just wait and see what happens. It's kind of like magic. And the same too for KAYLYNNE. Call on her, like when you're having one of those days and you just need a hug, you just need somebody soft to bring that love energy to you. Call on her for that, because that's what she's good at. So whatever they were good at here, they understand up there how it works. She says, I will forever be four. You know, wasn't she older than that when she left? Which doesn't make any difference. But she said she has a reason for saying that. I will forever be four. Maybe that's when she felt good, or and I'm trying to see what she's showing me. She's showing me the butt end of a dog. Kind of a, I want to see that end. Kind of a medium-sized dog, lighter colored. Looks like it could have some other color on it, but I'm still just barely seeing the rest of the dog. It's got short hair, but it's not got the real short, slick hair like a Labrador or something would have. You know, not that real slick boxer hair type. It's a little bit longer and kind of wire-er, and its tail kind of curls. So this dog is playing with her, or running towards her anyway. I don't know why I can only see the butt. Maybe there's something special about the dog's butt when it ran or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a clue. So she wants somebody to know she's got this dog with her. He almost looks like a mutt. He turned his head around and looked at me now, but I'm still looking at the butt. But his head's turned around towards me, and his ears lay down. They look like they're a light tan, and the dog looks kind of white. And I think there's some other tan on it somewhere, so it looks like some kind of a terrier mutt. But there's a reason that she's showing this, because she loves him. I do. Okay. Did you have a baby after she left? I'm not sure who's. She's got a baby rattle, and she's showing an infant, and she's shaking the baby rattle and playing with this infant. Doesn't mean this child is still that same size. She's just showing that she was playing with it. I don't feel like the kid is an infant now. Could be. Not 100%. I will not shove anything to make it fit. But she's, I will say, almost all kids and animals, at least dogs and cats, can see them, hear them. And it's no big deal to them because they're used to it. Until a kid gets to be about 9 or 10, and then they start looking around and going, yeah, people are going to make fun of me if I tell them I've got an imaginary friend, or I can see my sister, or whatever. She's bending down and kissing this baby on the forehead, and it's just giggling and laughing at her because it sees her, totally interacts with her, because they can. They totally have that ability. I think all of us had an imaginary friend when we were little, and then we shut it down because of what society's going to say. And it wasn't an imaginary friend, it was real. So whoever this baby is, watch it as it grows up, and it will act like it's feeding somebody in the air, you know, like there's nobody there, like giving them their cookie or something, or giggling at something on the ceiling because they see him. She's very gentle with this baby. Okay, she's been trying to get your attention. She's showing like she's trying to pinch you on the top of your leg, like right, like a little ways above your knee. She's trying to pinch. I don't know if she's quite got that figured out yet, but you still should feel, um, it could feel like a bug in that spot. It could feel like a hair you can't brush off. It could feel like just tingling and like goosebumps in one little spot. And once in a while, when I don't pay attention and they're trying to get my attention, it literally feels like they're sticking me with a pin. It's like, hey, 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 we're trying to get your attention. Hey. So it could feel like that. And which one? She's showing the left leg, so it doesn't have to always be the left leg, but it might be. So the upper thigh, upper top on the top. They usually try to show me exactly where they're going to do it. That doesn't mean that it's going to be in that spot every time. I know that sounds a little wishy-washy, but it's just the way it is. She says, don't stress the small stuff. And she's back to huddling, putting the mother hen wings around your babies. And do what you need to do for you. She feels like that's the best advice she can give you. It's almost like I'm getting the feeling like people are pulling at you, pulling. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to come this way, you need to. That's the feeling she's giving me. And she says, you need to stop doing that. Concentrate on you. I will help. You're not alone. You're not alone. I love you, Mommy. I love you, Mommy dearest. Know that I knew that you were doing everything that you could at the time. No, there's no regrets. Know that I knew that this is how it was supposed to be. Know that it's okay. I had to. It was my plan. So what I've been taught is we come into this life knowing that there's a plan. We have a life plan set out for us. We have an exit point. It could be when you're 1 day old, it can be when you're 100 years old. That little exit point can move a little bit depending on what's going on around you or what lesson, because we're here to learn lessons. This is actually art school. I'm not going to go into all that. I don't know how much you believe or know. But it can waver a little bit, but we come here knowing that at a certain area, certain age, we're going to go. And she knew, which I don't know that I've seen other ones say this pretty much, but she knew before she left that this was her plan. So whether they came and told her or she just had a knowing or I'm not sure how she knew it, because this is a little different, but she knew that this was her time, and she was perfectly fine with it. And she used to talk to an angel in her room towards the end. She says there was always a beautiful angel there, and she would talk to them, and she had so much peace and love that she had a smile on her face when she left. She knew, she knew, she knew. She just keeps saying she knew, and it was fine. No regrets. And she doesn't want you to have any either. And she says again, forever for. So I don't creep anybody's Facebook page before I do a reading, so I'm not sure where that's coming from, but hopefully you know. I love you, Mommy. I will be around. Call on me when you need some love. Don't know why she's hammering a nail into a board. I don't know if you've been making something. Are you crafting or building a house or building something, remodeling at home? She's showing pounding a nail into a board on the floor. Put a new floor in. It's just a board. It's not. She's not showing any project. So anyway, she's waving goodbye. Know that I'm always around, but I think you know that. I love you. She says in a little sweet voice. Very sweet. Very pretty. Very kind. Okay, with that, she's leaving. Okay, my dear. Thank you very much. I hope she helped you a little bit. She's good. She's good. She's feeling good. She's looking good. So, anyway, much love to you. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later. Stay safe.